Hey guys, Thomas Jr. here, aka Mustached. I'm here to review The Tiger's Apprentice. If you end up enjoying this full movie review, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure to check out those links in the description. One will head over to my petition to help out smaller YouTubers. Second and third to my Patreon and PayPal, where you can help support me and my channel directly. And fourth to my Discord, where you can join, collab, chill, do all that cool stuff for free, and chilling will be reminded at the end of the review. With all that out of the way, let's get into The Tiger's Apprentice. Now, I have not seen any trailers for this, so yeah, I randomly came across it, as it were, and it was actually pretty alright. I mean, there were some silly things in here, but we'll get to that. Anyway, we'll look at it as objectively as conceivable, and with that, let's dive right in. So, we begin this movie with the lunar phase of the new year in Hong Kong. We see that a grandma is traveling with her grandson to see some good old-fashioned fireworks. However, on her travels, we see the introduction of these yaoguais, which is a type of demon in this particular tradition anyway. In Japanese, I'm pretty sure this is like akin or kind of close to like yokai, though from what I've seen anyway, yokai seem to be friendly spirits. But there could be iterations where they're not. I'm just more familiar with them being friendly spirits. Anyway, yaoguai are chasing up on them, and we get the weakest part of this movie is the music. Unfortunately, the movie takes music from like really old like songs that they just got the rights to or whatever, and it is so distracting whenever this comes up. And we see that their car, as they're traveling and being assaulted, and just for the simplicity's sake, I'll just call them demons for short. Anyway, we see that the animal spirits charge forward, and there are indeed 12 of them, resembling the 12 zodiac. Each of them come with their own ability, and we sort of see a stalemate of sorts in the beginning of the flashback. But we skip to 15 years later, from 2009. So, if I got that math right, I actually didn't do the math. Whoops. Anyway, point being, sometime later we meet our main character, the one on the poster there, also named Tom, who gets in a fight in school with a bully. But he is trying to act all suave, and he has a few comebacks here. But unfortunately, he still gets in a scenario where he has to fend off for himself. He ends up blasting our bully here up into the roof, and our main character, finds this a bit bizarre, to say the least. And we're introduced to his friend, who is a girl in this, named Rav. They skateboard home, and she talks about on their way there how she had been adopted many times. So they go to his grandma's house, and she says, essentially right at the get-go of the theme of the movie, instead of using your fist, instead to use your head and heart to guide you. Essentially the heart of the movie, or, yeah, as I was just saying, the theme, rather. So, as they are talking about this, a visitor comes on through named Hugh. Tom has no clue what's going on, as the two seem to discuss as if they were old-timey pals. But as the house begins to shake and shimmer, She forms a bubble as their main rival of the new movie, named Lou, appears and summons her demons to fight alongside her. She ends up burning the house down, and we see that he is given a hold of this phoenix little thing, aka our MacGuffin for the entire movie. It's like this little crystal orb thing. So they both flee, that being Hugh and him, as they watch as the grandma seems to be taken away. So of course we have a moment after the fact where the two of them, specifically, as they're trying to flee after the fact, he shows off that he is indeed the tiger spirit among the 12. And then, once they get to his place, they begin to train. The first or second of the Zodiac to join him is the one named Rat. So they're all named after their animals, at least when they're in their animal form. So just to keep things rather basic. So Rat offers this magical bat that holds a sword that he offers to Tom. Then we meet Dragon, who appears after the fact, after the Rat's intro. The three of them then show Tom to this secret entrance to this secret fortress, where they summon the rest of the 12 Zodiac there. Once Rat is done giving all of the introduction, to give us, the audience, as well, a little bit about their personalities, as we do see them also when they, pop up and all that good stuff. Sorry about this. I meant to do that. There we go. I'm not even going to bother pausing it at this point. Anyway. So after the fact of him feeling like he's completely lost in all this, he decides to head home to his own house, and we get more of this music that just feels out of sync with the rest of the movie. We see that Tom goes to go on the offensive for Lou, and he ends up ahead. They're now giving chase when they figure this out, and he finds out that Rav, the girl he just met, is in the care of our main villain in the movie. But she wants none of that when she discovers it, which actually happens. This reveal essentially happens for her in this moment as well, so they don't really hold on that, so thank goodness for that, at least. Instead of doing this, like, liar reveal thing or whatever. At any rate, so they're trying to, so some more of them are getting trapped inside this, like, magic umbrella thing. Meanwhile, she's trying to capture him primarily. There's like 4 of his guardians left, and they manage to narrowly escape by shrinking out and exiting through the house when all this magical water kerfuffle is happening. After that, they train him even further in this montage now. So now that you know he's at a montage, you can tell that he's automatically going to be good after said montage, because we see the progression and the music, you see. But he does still overhear that the tiger still believes that he has not quite found himself, because it's all about seeing the phoenix, as it were. And that is one of the things he has yet to do, despite all of the training. So he heads back once more, and he heads back to his grandma's house, and he sees his grandma this time. She wants the necklace, he offers it, and it ends up being Lou. Surprise, surprise. I mean, one of the dirty tricks. So they go and join him to give chase. And we're running out of time, as it were, for her plan to come into fruition, as essentially. They end up on this rooftop, where they end up trying to all fight her, and she's doing some great deals of magic. She has the phoenix. She's cursing people to lose their spirits and whatever. It's a big old kerfuffle on the roof. So they're all there. People are, However, on the ground floor, the rest of the Zodiacs are freed due to the assist from Rav, who's there with them at this point. And they all charge together and make their way back to try to fight her one last time. The good old college try. But once they are all on the offensive on her, she suggests Lou, the main antagonist, that Tom fight her. And Tom finally remembers what the grandma said about using your head and heart. And instead of going after her directly, he just goes after the pendant, the thing that he was designed to protect. And so he is allowed to see the Phoenix for himself. And in doing so, is able to defeat Lou. But in doing all of that, he loses his will of power and falls off the roof completely, in which the tiger catches him and then lands all the way down. And so that we see that the chariot of whatever it was called in the movie gets ready to pick him up, but the tiger is not ready for this, so he summons the rest of the Zodiac to place him to the Empress, as he calls it, I believe. He allows her to imbue a part of his spirit, making him appear older to help resurrect Tom, since he's no longer among the living. So he is able to, with that sacrifice of a few of Tiger's years, and now he has gray on him when he's a tiger, and even when he's in his humanoid form. And so, they get back to training, because they say, yeah, there's going to be more of this, get ready, this is your new life, or whatever. And during his last training montage, we see that our young hero named Tom turns into a young tiger cub, and that is the end of the movie. Yeah, this movie, while its cast is on the significantly bigger side, it does have a pretty focused story, which is surprising. They keep on track. The music is a little distracting. I think you can choose music that is very fitting for the theme of, you're trying to go for a very, a call to the aesthetic of this culture, essentially. So I would much have preferred, at least, if the music was of that origin as well. I just think that would be better, but of course, this is one of those, I'm gonna guess this is one of those lower end movies in terms of trying to get original music, I guess. So that's what we got. But anyways, I thought this movie was fine. They kind of form their way back. There's definitely a lot of supernatural stuff happening all throughout this movie. And they kind of skim past the training, but they do it through montage, which is a common trope in these types of movies. So I think in terms of a score, I mean, the cast is so huge, we don't get too much of the characters, that being the rest of the Zodiac. We get a lot from the Tiger. The movie is, titled that, so that would be suspected that there would be like the highest focus would be on him, and then we would kind of see secondary and tertiary characters kind of stem from that point, being the dragon and the rat being the two others that seem to have the most going on, and then the lower tier from that have the even smaller moments that are, appear from time to time throughout the movie. But yeah, that's about it. I think I would either give this a 5 or 6 out of 10. I think it could have been tightened up a little bit more, in terms of I think it still would be a challenge to give each character even more of a distinctive moment, as it were. You're dealing with 12 different Zodiacs, so that definitely raises a unique challenge in terms of how much you would have to separate all of that and make it feel also equally paced and fitting of a movie. So perhaps that might be too much of an ask. Who knows? But I do think that the focus is a lot more geared to what it needed to be geared towards, that being the tiger. And by the end of the movie, essentially his new son at this point. It's kind of the symbolic storytelling is what that's guiding me towards saying, so that's essentially it. So yeah, I think this movie is pretty decent. And that's my review of The Tiger's Apprentice. If you ended up enjoying this full movie review, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure to check out those links in the description. One I devote to my petition to help out smaller YouTubers. Second and third to my Patreon and PayPal, where you can help support me and my channel. And fourth to my Discord server. Join, collab, shield, all that cool stuff for free. And until next time, everyone, bye-bye.